Namaste, everyone. A very good morning to all of you. And today I'm excited, at the same time, little upset that it's the last day of our training. And these 12 days were actually a roller coaster ride for me, wherein I had so many things and feelings because this was the first time when I was giving a training while when I was giving a training while not seeing people in person and virtually, all these things were happening because of so many reasons like COVID and various other factors. So that human touch definitely was missing. But at the same time, the response that I got on the chats was actually very inspiring, motivating. At the same time, it gave me this feeling that yes, people are also taking this way of educating themselves in a positive manner. All right. So today, what we are going to do is we will look at this journey of ours so far, how we have dealt with various problems, how we have overcome, and how we have learned them and mutually came out as a warrior and as a winner. So from here, actually, if you see, now starts the real fight because till now we were in the learning phase, and now we would be practically applying all those things, all those concepts, all those tools and techniques that we have learned so far in our real life scenarios. Okay, so what I'm going to do today is I'll just give you a recap of all those topics that have been covered so far, and in the end I will also help you in I'll share it with you what all things are there that one can do in development or a personal development area. So there are various other programs that are we run across the country, and with the help of Samanvay you can actually achieve those heights which you have always been longing for. But first thing first, whatever we have learned so far, let's do a recap of all those things right from the day when we started, from the topic when we said that okay, fear of speaking, that's the first thing that we need to really talk upon and we need to discuss upon, and how do we need to overcome that. Okay, so let us start that and move forward. So journey so far has been really exciting personally for me, and I hope it's same feeling on the other side also. So initially when we started, our very first class was about how to overcome the fear of speaking in English. So what I discussed here was firstly the major barriers of speaking in English. So here the emphasis was laid on three things. That the major barriers are that we don't think in English, but we want to speak in English. So thinking is done in your own native language or Hindi, and speaking is done in English. So we have to first overcome that. And then the habit. We are so habitual of speaking Hindi or our regional language that we really want to stay in our comfort zone. So we need to come out of that comfort zone, guys. This is the time. Initially, when I was taking these classes, that might have been like a um, like an exercise, but I believe now by these 12 end of these 12 days, these things would have at least become a habitual things for you, that okay, I need to come out of my comfort zone, I need to think in English, speak in English. And lastly, this consciousness that we have, that okay, we really get conscious, everybody gets conscious, that's a part of human nature. But then that is what we are working here, that we need to take this out, and just need to forget that what people are thinking, and we need to concentrate on what we want to learn and how we want to grow as an individual or as a person. All right, only then you will come out as a winner, because when you get conscious, people will all the more make you more conscious. But when you get come out as a winner, nobody will ask you कि आपने previously क्या struggle किया था. All will be eager to know how you achieved that. Okay, next, the key takeaways from that session was that practice writing. I am a person who really believes in writing, be it a 50 words, 100 words. Trust me, once you start writing, your thinking ability increases at a very fast pace. So the moment you think and write, that is the point when ideas will come to you automatically. People who just believe in just reading, 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 fine, that's okay. But start writing something and then think and write and be original. Use simple English. We don't have to use heavy words or heavy vocab. We just want to put or pen down our ideas on a piece of paper. That's what our intention here is. So do that. Ignore people who make fun of you because they are simply boosting their egos. We are not here to satisfy anybody's ego. We are here to learn. Okay. And lastly, the mirror talking. 15 minutes daily, I emphasized on. Today, also, whenever I'm giving any session, still today, I make it a point that I will not go out for my session till the time I do a mirror practice. Okay. So these are the key takeaways, and these are not just the key takeaways from a session, but these are the key takeaways from generic how you want to become as a confident speaker. All right. The next class that we took was of practical speaking. So how we can improve this way we talk. So here again, I told you the various ways how to introduce yourself, how to greet people, and what not to say and what to say. There were the various things. So in from that, what I really wanted to pick up here today for today's session was that to really avoid the very words. So I listed down few words, and similarly you can find some other things that you feel that okay, this is something which I want to now remove it and start using the different and much better words instead. So here what I said was very cute could be replaced by adorable, very tired by exhausted. I'm really exhausted today. Very important is crucial. Speaking English has become really crucial these days. Very clean is spotless, very beautiful is gorgeous, very boring is dull, and very good is great. All right. So next was the four steps, simple step how we can just think in English, because many people were thinking how can we just think in English. So I gave these four steps that first of all start thinking in the single words. You don't have to really think about the big heavy sentences. Just one word is like okay, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, the day is good, good night, I have worked really hard today. So these are the simple words with which you can actually start thinking in English only. And secondly, I said start using your phone. Change your phone's lock screen to say that think in English. That's a very effective way, you know, because it always gives you a reminder. Okay, you got to think in English and then speak in English. Substitutes. So whenever you're trying to explain someone that you lost your key, but you can't remember the word key. There are times when you don't remember. Then try to use it an option कि उस चीज़ को किस काम के लिए किया जाता है. Then use it. Oh, something that's used the door. Or probably आपको you don't know what is the meaning of the word mop is not coming in your mind. That I need to mop the floor. So you think where is that thing with which we clean the floor? So that's how it just that simply portrays that okay, the person knows how to speak, it's just for that particular time the word is not coming in his or her mind. Okay, so that's very important aspect. Again, then turn it into a game. One was that every time you are thinking in English, give yourself some points and think for 5 minutes, give yourself some brownie points. Okay, fine, I just thought about it in English, so I'm going to treat myself with something today. Okay. So, and moreover, the Scrabble game is one of the very interesting games, or probably we have some mobile games also I discussed in my class, wherein you have those pictures and you have to identify those pictures in and make a spelling and get that word. So that's another interesting thing. I've seen kids playing those games to these days. Then I laid emphasis on the art of communication. Now, communication, which I said is the language of leadership. So in order, we all want to be leaders tomorrow, and obviously we would be leaders tomorrow. So what I wanted to say is that understanding the language of leadership, and that's communication. If you are able to communicate, and communication not only means talking, It means listening. Active listening is one of the key aspects. And there have been some barriers in communication that we also discussed. So what I discussed was, what are the various barriers that are there in communication. So as you can read them, so noise, inappropriate medium, assumptions, emotions, languages, poor listening, distractions. So the 2 points that I emphasized on, assumptions and misconception. Please don't assume anything, because you are going to make it as out of you and me both. As in, if you start assuming, it will be just a futile effort from both the sides. So stop assuming and stop having misconceptions. Just clear them out, and that the proper channel of clearing it, communication. Talk it out. Okay. Emotions, language differences, all have to be taken care of in a very wise manner. Further, if anybody wants to know details about this communication, if you guys really want, we would be having more classes in the future. I have listed down certain classes that will be really, really beneficial to you as a professional, as a person, as a human being, which I will be talking about later in the class today. All right. So again, poor listening is one thing that is one of the biggest barriers of communication. You really have to understand that if you're talking to somebody or if you're listening to somebody, you have to behave in an appropriate manner, so that the person feels that I am being heard. All right. So distractions again have to be taken care of. Okay, so next was the key tenets of active listening. When I'm talking about key tenets, tenets are like the principles. So following these tenets of active listening will, will develop some kind of a leadership qualities in you. Trust me. So these are the things that, number one, if I say wait until the other person has finished making their point or comment. So let other persons finish, and start it with from your family, talking to your people around. Just start from that only. Don't wait for some office environment, or don't wait for somebody to take your interview, or probably any such scenario. Start from place where you are and see how you are coming up, and start practicing. Second was, do not interrupt or jump to the conclusion before they get a chance to finish their thought. So in that, I gave you an example of, say for example, your team leader or your manager comes to you and says, you see, we have a lot of work flow coming today. So there are some good amount of like entries. For example, we are taking, let's take an example of in accounts. So we have a lot of entries coming in which are incorrect, and we need to do the rectification, and we have a lot of work today, and you really have to stretch today, or probably you really have to work hard. So before he could complete the line, the subordinate comes up and says, I know what you want us to do. You want us to stretch, and then we don't get anything in return, and that's all we are doing day in and out. We're just stretching and finishing the targets, and he gets upset. But whereas what the manager was about to say was that, I know the workflow is really high. Let me talk to the leader, let me talk to the on-site people, that if they could leverage just 3 more days to complete the task, because I don't want my team to really stretch on or come on weekends. And you guys don't even let anybody complete the talk. That gives a very wrong message. So had those people would have heard their manager, things would have made a different impression altogether. All right. So that's what this tenet number 2 says. Please don't jump to the conclusions before somebody has finished their thought. Number 3, if you do not understand someone's message, please ask them for clarification. Don't just say yes, yes, samajh mein aa gaya, ha, samajh mein aa gaya. And then what will happen is, things at times might be disastrous. Trust me, especially in terms of business, especially in terms of workplace. If somebody says, please get it done by Tuesday, all right, you don't understand, you and this is happening on Monday, and you have this idea, other person also couldn't give the proper message, and you thought that you have to complete by tomorrow, that's the Tuesday. But had you been asked that, have you had asked this thing, that is it this Tuesday or the next Tuesday, can you please specify? Then you get a clarification on that. Okay, so ask if you don't understand. Don't just sit on it that okay fine, that's a message and we're going to deal with it like that. So these are the key tenets. I am myself as a person practicing them because they just don't happen overnight. So few points that I'm still like point number 2, that is my personal drawback. I at times jump to the conclusion before even listening to others talk. So I'm practicing and I'm still learning that okay, no, I need to deal with this part. All right. Next, last but not the least, when we're talking about the communication, just remember this: it has to be hot. It has to be hot, wherein H stands for honest, O stands for open, and 2 stands for two way. You have to be honest in your communication and you have to be open, meaning don't whatever is there just talk it out and don't just sit on it. Okay, I'm going to talk about it tomorrow or probably I don't know when or whenever I'm comfortable. No, and it has to be two way, not just one person talking, right? That is why you remember I always emphasize that please put your queries in chat panel if you have anything to discuss, if you have something in your mind that's going on that okay you want to know or whatever. So that is how communication works. It has to be honest, open, and two way. And that's not me who has written it. That's Dan Oswald who says this, that communication has to be honest, open, and two way. All right. Next we did was sentence structuring. So what we are doing in sentence structuring is how we format the sentences on. So in this case, we learned we just emphasized on the parts of speech, wherein we touched upon the various parts of speech, and then we worked upon tenses as well. So what are the tenses? The 12 forms of tenses, which I just simply discussed with you guys. That okay, these are the form of tenses, and on basis of your of how you want to understand which particular tense you want to really study, or you want to have an in-depth knowledge of, which we took. So just if I want to really talk about tenses, it is a form taken by a verb, when we have to show the time of an action. So doing something, it's called verb. Okay, and in which point of time we have done that action, that is tenses. So whether it was in past tense, present tense, or it will be happening in the future tense. So basically, we identify tenses into 3 parts: present tense, past tense, and future tense. But then further, we are going to break them down into 12 tenses, which are as follows. All right, present simple, present continuous, present perfect continuous, past simple, past continuous, past perfect continuous, future simple, future continuous, future perfect, and future perfect continuous. Okay, so these are the tenses that we touched upon. Now somebody from the class asked me what is a modal. Okay, so wherein I said that modal is a type of an auxiliary, which we say helping verb that provides additional and specific meaning to the main verb of the sentence. Okay, for example, verb is he runs fast, but then can he run fast? The ability, possibility, permission, or obligation. If we attach them to our verbs, they become modal verbs. Okay, so modal auxiliary verbs are can, wherein you are actually doubting the ability, or probably you are asking a permission or a polite request. Permission, supposition with doubt, if not prohibition. So can, may, must, shall, will, ought to, need, have to, would. These are few of the auxiliaries or models that we use in our day-to-day life. Okay, so I hope you will start using these, and that is again one of the ways of speaking in English. Once you understand these auxiliaries, so it becomes easier for you to actually express yourself. Okay, next, I listed down few words, I would say, that you should be stop saying them and instead say the different word for that. I'm not saying the one which I am saying stop saying are incorrect. All I'm saying is that now that we are in that format of learning English, so it's better to start using words which will also help in increasing your vocab. So if you are saying I have a problem, so don't say problem, say there are some challenges that I'm facing today in opening the site. That's what I'm saying. If you have any issue with something or some projects or anything, so is there's some controversy that's going on here? I'm not understanding what's that. Or probably at times you can use the word issue as well. But if you're going to use the words which are ticked as green, then that will create an impact and that will help you in projecting your ideas in an effective manner. Okay, so reason, what's the reason? So what is the reason for attending the class? So what I'm saying is, what's the rationale of attending this class? The rationale here is, I want to come out as a fluent speaker in English. Okay, so these are the words that you should be start now using them. Then we did was uh, British English versus American English in Indian context, where I laid emphasis on that we had been under a British rule for some good amount of period. Okay, so the curriculum also that we have been following from our childhood involves a lot of British English, but now that with so much of globalization that's happening, people are traveling so frequently all across the globe. So at times, we need to understand that American English and British English have some differences, and how do we want to understand that was this class all about? Okay, so like I've been emphasizing on that, English has become a link language. So we need to understand, being Indians, at times we need to understand if we are going to, say for example, tomorrow you go to UK to study. So you need to understand what are the words that are used in Britain and what are the words that are used in America, in just in case you're going to the United States. All right. So this class emphasized on words which are used in British versus what are there in American English. So trousers, if we talk about American English, says it pants. Film, in America people call it movie. All right. Holiday in British, and in American English it's called as vacation. Queue in British, and in line in American English. Curtains, and they are called as drapes. The lift, that's called in British. An elevator, that's called in American English. Biscuit, that's called in British English. And cookie, that's called in American English. Here throughout my life, all I have known is a biscuit. But the moment you go to US or you start talking to people, when they talk about kid, would you like to have a cookie? And I had this different picture of cookie. But the moment that arrived, I said, oh, that's a typical Parle-G biscuit kind of a thing for me. So that's how you kind of, these words really amuse you at times. Trolley is a British English and cart is an American English. Schedule. So I said schedule is British English and schedule is American English. That's it. So these are the few more words which I did in my class. So pretty much we were differentiating between the British English and the American English in Indian context, because as Indians we need to understand everything. So then we did effective presentation skills. So in effective presentation skills, I laid upon this very beautiful structure that talked about how your presentation has to be. So in terms of presentation to be effective, what we have to do is, first, it's always preferable that you plan a presentation. First stage is to planning. Once you plan your presentation, planning में हम लोगों ने बात करी थी that if you answer the 5 W's in one edge, who, what, when, where, how. So if you have answers for all these things in the planning phase, it becomes much easier for you to make a effective presentation. Then you were structuring your presentation. In that we did 7 C's. Okay, content, clarity, capability of the audience, so on and so forth, context. So these are the things that we emphasized on when we were discussing it. Delivery. Now, delivery plays an important role, and I said that if in delivery you are good, then planning and structuring में अगर थोड़ा ऊपर नीचे हो भी जाता है at times, but अगर आपका delivery अच्छी है, the way you present yourself, if that is good, then these things can be covered. And in delivery, I talked about the body language and how you're going to make an eye contact, how you're going to answer the questions, and just in case you're not able to answer the question, be honest and positively accept that. And once you have accepted that one, and do find the answer of that question and do reach out to people saying that okay, that's the answer for this. So from all these things, whatever learnings we get, that further helps in presentation in the near future. So primarily, what we were emphasizing on planning, structuring, delivering, and then all these things leads to learning. Of course, always, like you guys are learning from this session, and I will also have my takeaways from this session. So that's a dual process. Okay. Next, we discussed upon the skills, okay? The professional skills and the soft skills. So both have equal importance, and how one can hone those skills, we talked upon that also. So when I was talking about the professional skills, I laid upon some 10 uh, not rules I would say, but 10 techniques through which you can enhance your professional skills, wherein I talked about start reading books, journals, and start attending various short term programs, because this development industry, my dear friends, is really important part of our life. And not just you, okay, it's not just you, as in those who have just beginning in the beginning of their career, or those who are just starting their career need these skills, but believe you me that from at every phase of life we need to develop our skills, be it a professional skill or what we call as interpersonal skills. Okay, self improvement industry is the one that people from all levels, all age groups come and learn from that industry. What I'm trying to say here is that I'll just tell you few known people. Okay, there is, you guys can write it and Google it if you want to. So there is this person called Marshall Goldsmith. Okay, why am I telling you? Because at times people think that, oh, because we are new, because we are just starting our career, or probably we don't know how to speak fluently, we need to attend. But those people who are leaders, who are at higher ups, they really don't need any kind of interpersonal skills or something like that. No, the moment you type, and that's just one of the person I'm talking about, the Marshall Goldsmith. He is a leadership coach, and he's an author of several management related books, and he is the one who coaches people who are like who have attained a certain level in an industry, and from there they want to grow further. For that, I'm telling you, there's a book written by him, What Got You Here Won't Get You There. So that's one of the book wherein he talks about various leaders, okay, or people who are in high profile. They have reached to a certain point, but from there, if they are not growing, what could be the reason? So how he deals with them is, because he's a life coach, he personally goes to them, or when they call him, he says that I will be there with you for 6 months, and whatever your problems are, that if your team is not listening to you, your leadership qualities are not that effective, I'm going to be there for 6 months with you. And within these 6 months, if you don't see a change in yourself or in people's perspective towards you, I will not take my fees. And obviously people like them charge a very high amount of fees. So that's a different thing altogether. But look at his conviction, that to the top leaders, he talks them with so much of certainty that okay, you are in 6 months become a different person altogether. or whatever you think is not working for you will start working, but you have to work in the manner which I say. So they are called the life coach. स्विमिंग करने जाते हैं हमें कोच की ज़रूरत होती है बिकॉज हम डूब ना जाएं. Similarly, we always need a life coach in every sphere of life. हमें सिर्फ लगता है कि आज हमें ज़रूरत है, बट नो, gradually you will feel that नहीं, after every regular intervals I need a coach, be it professional skills, be it interpersonal skills, be it any other skill that I want to acquire. So this is what I'm trying to say, is that when you will Google Marshall Goldsmith, you will get to know that okay, he people at higher ups also require leaders, also require coaches to coach them. All right. So these are the one. And imagine this person is coming up and saying 6 months, and 6 months he is glued to that leader like a shadow, and he observes his or her daily activities, how he's talking, how he's portraying himself, how he's addressing his juniors, his staff, his subordinates. So you can imagine this this industry of self improvement is so vast. So we just don't cannot stop only at a point कि अब हमने इंग्लिश सीख ली, we are done. नहीं, इसके बाद तो actual fight शुरू होती है guys. All right. So I laid upon some professional skill wherein I talked upon like TED talks देखिए, books पढ़िए, बातें करिए, have your own group, forum बनाइए अपनी एक, where you can do some intellectual talks and so on. Soft skill पे I talked upon, I touched upon various areas like 4 tricks I told you I guess, wherein I said that अपना fear हटाइए and emphasize on your body language अच्छी रखिए अपनी and so on. So these were certain things that you should really think upon as a good speaker or as a person, as a human being altogether. ओके. सो पहला ऑब्वियसली मैंने बात करी थी कि हमें चाहिए ही क्यों सॉफ्ट स्किल्स, बिकॉज सॉफ्ट स्किल्स सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट होती हैं. देखिए, जस्ट आई वांट जस्ट गो बैक. प्रोफेशनल स्किल्स कैन बी एक्वायर्ड, अभी नहीं, कल नहीं, परसों नहीं, ग्रेजुअली वी कैन डू दैट. बट सॉफ्ट स्किल जितनी जल्दी हम एक्वायर कर लें उतना बेटर है, बिकॉज as this slide talks about, it always helps in building a relationship. एक बार अच्छे relationship बन गए तो we have a reputation. Reputation होती opportunities आगे. Here I specifically discussed on the part that building relationships. अब बोलते हैं ना कि what do you call it, PR. जिसकी PR अच्छी होती है उसके सारे 80% काम हो जाते हैं. अब PR अपनी बंदा कैसे बनाएगा, personal relationships कैसे develop करेगा? Only when you have a good soft skills. Okay. So I have another program that I would be launching soon on developing on these interpersonal skills only. So how do you improve those skills? That's again a very one of the interesting topics that I would be taking in the near future. So all those guys who would be interested, please enroll yourself with someone on this one. So, but I'll discuss that in details in the later part of my slide. All right. So you have to have soft skills in such a manner that don't have to think about कि मेरे ऑफिस में ही काम आएगा. It will help you in generic. Okay. Next class was like how to remove shyness and become confident. So how to remove shyness and become confident में I laid down points on how to remove shyness, except that you are a shy person or you introvert, but then don't sit on it and don't have to every day talk about yourself. Oh, मैं तो बहुत शाई हूँ, मुझसे कुछ नहीं हो पाएगा. नहीं, एक्सेप्ट कर लिया, अब उस पर काम करना है. द मोमेंट यू हैव एक्सेप्टेड, स्टार्ट वर्किंग ऑन इट एंड इग्नोर पीपल who talk shit about you. I'm sorry I'm using this word, but then that's how it is. You have to become a little harsh. Okay, just don't do that. Don't deal with any kind of let's not use the words here, but then don't take any. That's none sorry, that's nobody's business how you are feeling. Okay. All right. Become confident. How do you become confident? Wherein I stated that start visualizing the things. I talked about appealing personality, dressing up. People say don't judge a book by its cover, but I'm sorry, a book is judged by its cover. That's what's happening these days. So that's a bit of truth. We can't avoid that. Moreover, eye contact had to be really one of the important aspect. Keep a smile on your face, a pleasing personality, greet people, and then you will gradually understand how you have been behaving. uh, Lastly, this session was there which was about when I said that okay, become the best version of yourself. So that particular workshop, I laid down some 10 rules that really help you in becoming a better version of yourself. Wherein first was, you have to master your craft. Whatever you are doing, just be so diligent in whatever you're doing that you are flat out fantastic. Okay. Second, I talked about own your actions. Don't just wait for somebody else to come and say, please do something. Start taking your own, take your own take initiatives and work on your own. Nobody is going to come. People would say for some time, like your parents or our near and dear ones, kuch kar lo. But at the end, it's you who have to do it. Okay. Make excellence as your brand. Be so excellent that you are being observed. All right, 10 people doing same kind of job, but only few gets promoted because whatever they're doing in an excellent manner. So you have to be among those few. Think that in my mind, think that in your mind and start working on that. Number 4, I said that integrity. Doing the right thing when nobody is watching brings right to you. Okay. Remember third law of motion. Anybody does I'm just speaking, does anybody remember the third law of motion? For every action there's an equal and opposite reaction. Okay, so if you do the right thing, right things will come on your table, and nobody can stop, from that. Nobody can stop happening from there. Okay, please bear with my fumbleness, because I am really, 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 really excited and sad at the same time, having mixed feelings that okay, tomorrow is the, oh sorry, today is the last. See, I'm not even able to digest it that today is our last class, guys. Very sad. All right. Nevertheless, never lose hope. LOOSE, lose hope. If Ravish is there, Ravish, the spelling this time. My dear, actually, the spelling was incorrect, friends. Now, let me share the secret with you. Because the fifth one, from the point of view of this class, I actually changed that. Because the rule here was entirely different. But we will discuss in some other class what was the rule that I had earlier laid down here. But thinking from the perspective of you people, I changed it to never lose hope. All right, that's pretty self-explanatory there. Sixth one was listen to the universe. Whenever something is coming in your mind or in your heart, please listen to that. हमें लगता है हम सिर्फ ऐसी डे ड्रीमिंग कर रहे हैं, but it's not that daydreaming. Okay, so it's just that universe is trying to say something to us कि कर लो ये काम, and that is why we actually we, the that is when we actually come up and say okay, I got to do this thing, I got to do this thing, I got to do this thing. So always listen to, first universe will always whisper it in your ears. मतलब पहले आपको वो धीरे धीरे बताएगा कर लो, और फिर आप बोलोगे नहीं नहीं, that's not my cup of tea, I cannot do this. Till the time वो इतना strong हो जाएगा that it will really thud you का मतलब होता है it will be एक गूंजेगा आपके कानों में, मुझे करना है. दैट इज वाई आई गेस जब ऐसा चीज होती है, दैट इज वाई वन ऑफ द बिगेस्ट एग्जाम्पल इज दैट यू गाइज केम हेयर अटेंडेड दिस क्लास, बिकॉज आपकी इनर वॉइस इतनी ज़्यादा इंक्रीज हो गई कि दैट यू गोट टू डू इट. सो ऑलवेज लिसन टू द यूनिवर्स. Seventh was surround yourself with great people. Surround yourself with the people who push you, who challenge you, who make you happy. Okay? And those are the people who will really uplift you. You don't have to surround yourself with the people जो ना खुद कुछ करते हैं ना आपको कुछ करने देंगे. Just leave them. We don't need such kind of people in our life. Number 8, balance your life. Balance your life in the sense, work life balance जिसकी हम बात करते हैं, it is very difficult, guys. It is very difficult. But symmetry जो होता है ना, वो beautiful, the beauty lies in the symmetry, and symmetry means balancing your life. So try to make a work-life balance of it. Prioritize your things, which is personal, which is professional. What time are you going to devote on which particular aspect? Okay. Find a true passion. Whatever you have had some passion from the childhood, please keep them alive. Okay. Be a child at heart. Trust me, it is really going to help you. Once you find a true passion, and statistics have proven that if you have your passions and if you are doing that, when you are in your office and the work areas, your productivity actually increases. तो इसीलिए ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस में what we have done is on the every Fridays we have fun Fridays. We keep people engaged, employee engagement programs होते हैं. And the 10th part also pretty much talks about this only. So keep having fun at regular intervals in terms of whatever hobbies you have, whatever interests you have, play some games, go for movies, do whatever you want to, hiking, biking, traveling, anything. You are a foodie, start cooking, anything that you wish to, just do that. All right. So these are the 10 rules that are really help you in making a better version of yourself. Okay, guys. Last but not the least, what I'm trying to say here is it's just the beginning. Okay, Lavish has a question. What word we should use for tenses? Continuous or Acha, you asked this question earlier also. Actually, one of my teachers that we are not supposed to use the word continuous for tenses after 2020. But see, that's what I'm saying. There is a disagreement always. Be it whether you want to use a continuous tense or a progressive tense. So, you know what? At times I feel that a CBSE pattern or ICSE pattern, they kind of differentiate between certain terminologies. But Lavish, doesn't really matter actually. It doesn't matter. Whatever you use, continuous or progressive, like British English and American English, schedule or schedule, how does that matter? Till the time you understand what the person is trying to say. So that is irrelevant. All right. You do, if you want to use continuous, or I mean if really something hard and fast is happening, then please do as per the requirement of the curriculum. All right. Okay, so I said it's just the beginning, guys, because the moment I said journey so far, it's just the beginning. Why am I saying it's just the beginning? Because best is yet to come for you. And how that best is yet to come for you, let me just emphasize on that. Why am I saying this? So here, what more do I have to offer? Samanway brings to you few of the programs that will really help you in becoming a person that you have longed for. You you know might be you might get inspired from various peoples, but my dear friends, not to forget one thing, that it is always in you. It is just the matter of time, meeting the right people, occupying yourself with right kind of people and right intellect, and then जो आपके अंदर की जो हिडन क्वालिटीज हैं, हिडन इंटेलेशिया है, that will come out. I'm not saying be, say for example, if you want to become a Bollywood personality, or you aspire to become a scientist, or any damn thing that is coming in your mind. I'm not saying that you have to copy that. Think about it, that it is all in you, and just think that they were also simple human beings at one point of time. They were like any other mango people. Mango people is the term today. Please start using it. Mango means आम in Hindi. तो वो भी हमारी तरह आम आदमी थे. They were the mango people. All right. But something, obviously luck is a factor, but luck is just a factor. Okay. Once you have your hard work towards it, things will start coming to you, because then once you learn things, you start seeing life from a different perspective. Okay. um, so this is one program that's called Developing Emotional Intelligence. Very beautiful program, guys. When I attended this program, I was at a different level altogether. Trust me. Had this COVID thing would not happened, I mean, this class that I have taken of emotional intelligence would have been one of the classes that everybody would have, really loved to attend it. So much of learning from it, the people who are in army, navy, these people, who save our country. They go to this tremendous coaching and this training of emotional intelligence, and that's so beneficial in different aspects. When they apply this emotional intelligence, when they are saving our country by applying this intelligence, imagine how fruitful and how beneficial it will be when we apply it in our daily life or at our workplace. Okay, so one is developing emotional intelligence, second is personality development. That's one of the very key aspect of being successful in the near future. Personality development में बहुत सारे aspects आते हैं, बहुत सारे parts आते हैं, but इनके लिए एक particular day है. It's like one or day program because we really have to get into the details of it. Okay, so before I move on for further, I want to throw some light on Samanvay, the information management system. It provides online platform for various services, including alumni network, digital library, and live events for colleges, schools, institute, as well as the university. These services provide unique opportunity to upgrade an institution from manual to digital framework and make a never lasting bond between the students and institutes. See, this is so effective. Right Solution Consultancy, okay, that's another one, is one of the major HR service providers operating in the Rajasthan, in not the Rajasthan, in Rajasthan. They offer various types of services such as placement services, recruitment services, campus placement, skill development service, etc. Our services for training and development help in creating skilled manpower for fulfill the requirement of the different organization. So Samanvay and Right Solution together brings makes a platform wherein you can come and opt for the various courses at all the levels, and that is how it's going to make you a person which all the organizations are longing for. Okay, like I said in my previous class, employers are looking for people who have certain qualities, and to develop those certain qualities, be it soft skills, be it professional skills, this is the place where we provide you with all that. And the best part about this place is that you will see that neither we are talking in very high fi English क्योंकि बंदे को समझ में ही नहीं आ रहा क्या बोल रहे हैं और एक कनेक्ट नहीं बना पा रहे हैं. This is the place where we talk like mango people, like you and me. You can talk to me anytime, the way, as in, you can say that, okay, so approachable. So there's no hard and fast rule that you have to think, okay, if I do I need to do emotional intelligence course or do I need to do personality development course. It's just I need to talk it out and understand which is best for me. Okay, so next is time management, one of the effective courses, because these days managing time has become really important. Traveling, right? Meetings, then doing our operational activities. So much is happening in a person's life that कभी पर्सनल स्पेस नहीं मिल पाती, फैमिली के लिए टाइम नहीं मिल पाता, फैमिली के लिए टाइम मिल गया, वेकेशन चला गया तो ऑफिस डिस्टर्ब हो गया. सो हाउ डू यू मैनेज दैट टाइम? अगेन we get to learn in this course. Anger management, all right, very important aspect. We really need to work upon anger. So इसके ऊपर भी हम लोगों ने काम किया. Again, this is one course which actually makes you a different person. We are not here to anger is something which is an emotion, and how do we control our emotions? That is what makes us a strong or a weak person. Okay, so we are talking about the anger management part here. Goal setting. This is one session that I attended, and I often talk about the place from where I did the training course at IATD, Indian Academy of Training and Development. And in this, the first session that was given to me, a whole 1 day session. When I'm saying 1 day session, that means right from 10 o'clock till 5 o'clock. And this session was given to us as a class of we were like 40 students in that class. Yes. And the goal setting session that was taken was amazingly beautiful, and for me it was a life changer. I started thinking, reason I'm telling you, because ट्रस्ट मी गाइज, अभी जो हमने पढ़ा वॉज मोर ऑन इंग्लिश स्पीकिंग, बट मेजॉरिटी ऑफ द कोर्सेज दैट वी डू हम लोग को समझ में कब आएंगे? देर आर थ्री एस्पेक्ट्स टू इट. वन, देर हैज़ टू बी अ स्टोरी लाइन. इसके पीछे कुछ तो होगा. लोगों की सक्सेसफुल स्टोरीज होंगी या लोगों की जेनरिक स्टोरीज होंगी जिसके बेसिस पे ये गोल्स बने हैं. समबडी माइट हैव टेस्टेड एंड ट्राइड इन द events of time, and then we have come up to this thing. Everybody talks about goal setting with SWOT analysis, this and that, कहीं भी चली जाइए, and that becomes at times little boring. But the type of coaching that happens here, what I'm trying to say is that there's a storyline to it. And storyline of a common people. अगर हम goal setting की बात करते हैं तो वीरप्पन जैसा एक what is the term that we use for these kind of people? I'm not getting that word. So वो लोगों की goals कैसे set होते हैं, that they can attack people, how, when, where, talking on their examples, and getting to know that do you really need to have that education in your mind to have that goal setting thing in? No. So how do you move forward here? SWOT analysis is important, we all know that, but what is that extra that we need to do? So we work around the storylines. We talk about, we work upon various activities. Virtually also we are planning to make some activities so that the participants are not just sitting and just listening to it, rather it becomes an interactive session, they're doing something. Okay, so these kind of activities and interactive sessions really help in understanding the concept. तो उस concept की clarity के लिए it has to be activity based, there has to be a storyline, so on, and it just not have to be a lecture that goes on and on and on. Okay, so here it's different from what you have been either have done those courses earlier or are planning to, not sure about it, but try to get those courses enrolled here and you will see a difference. And last but not the least, leadership foundations. The pyramid of leadership that we have often seen and we often talk about, that was again for me, I mean, one workshop I attended of leadership, and that was again, he was a person who was at a very high position in sales, probably a country head or something of some brand, I don't remember, from some engineering background. So when he gave us the training of leadership foundations, that were really beneficial in understanding how to start. So in that his presentation, he mentioned about the benefits of being a active listener. So in order to be a good leader, one of the qualities, one of the key components of that was being a good listener. And then when you're talking to people, maintain an eye contact. So first you have to listen to them carefully, and when you're addressing the crowd, maintain an eye contact. And your body language talks everything. So guys, this is pretty much from our side. We have like 6 programs that I have to offer. Plus there are various other programs that Samanvay and what was the other programs that you want to watch or you want to enroll for yourself. We have Samanvay for that, and the Right Solution Consultancy. It's again the HR services all over Rajasthan. It helps in placement, service, recruitment services, etc., and other training and development services. So time for me to come on camera. So these are the courses that I told you we have to offer, and we have on our plate to offer. Anything that besides this is something that I am talking about, but anything that you would like to learn, anything that is there, that okay, that's the topic that I would like to understand, and if we can have it on this platform, why not? Please share it on the chat panel, stating your interests, your ideas, if any. And like I said, we'll be more than happy and super excited to always meet you guys and have such classes. It was really a good learning session for me, and I hope it was, likewise, and you guys also have really enjoyed the session. Not just enjoyed, you might have learned something out of that. And my request is start applying it in your daily life, because I have learned it this way only. Okay, and one book which I have, I was just going through my books yesterday, so I would prefer, that's the book which is called, I'm not sure whether you can see it because the camera, it's that the name of the book is The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. So he's the writer of this book. Please go ahead and purchase this book. It's not pretty expensive though. It's like 229, and not, like I said, it's not a heavy book. Barely, how many pages do we have? 143 something. So that's that's the power of now, really talks about so many things that you know how we are thinking and what is going to happen now, is that is what matters the most in life. So if you get a chance, guys, read this book, and you will see that it has really helped you. And this is one, जब आप ये बुक पढ़ रहे होंगे तो जनरली आपको एक बार में लगेगा नहीं समझ में आया, रीड इट अगेन एंड अगेन, बिकॉज जो बुक है इट हैज़ हार्डली 140 pages, you can say. आगे और पीछे वो publishers and all को आप, if you exclude that, so doesn't have much of the pages. So just read those again and again whenever you get time. Start writing, think in English, speak in English. This is Vishali Sharma signing off. Bye bye. And if you really feel you want to come back, do come back. We are there to help you. All right. Wish you all the best for your future, guys. Okay. Bye bye.